Welcome to Season 4 of John McGivern's Main Streets.
This might be one of my favorite segments ever. My happy place.
The Main Streets podcast takes you behind the scenes of this popular PBS Wisconsin program. Now, get the inside scoop on this week's episode from host John McGivern and Emmy Fink and the Main Streets producer and director Lois Maurer.
We're back from the rodeo capital of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Spooner. Who would have known about Spooner, Wisconsin having a history of rodeo? We're talking about episode 10, Spooner, Wisconsin. I'm here with Lois. Hi, Lois.
Hey, John.
Hello, Emmy.
Hi, John.
Evan, who is the episode producer. Did you know all about the rodeo, Evan, before this?
I had never heard of Spooner.
Never heard of
And
it.
the rodeo is what sold me on making an episode about Spooner.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And how did the rodeo thing happen? Do we know?
Somebody from Spooner was down picking up Christmas trees or delivering Christmas trees or something down in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran into somebody at a gas station. And
It was really kind of one of those things. We're talking 70 years ago, though.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking a lot of years ago. And then the people that provide the livestock.
It's the same family every year.
And it was really just a happenstance thing. And then all of a sudden they were like, well, let's do a rodeo in Spooner. And they've been doing it for 70 years. Now, I personally had never been to a rodeo. And when we did the site survey, there was no rodeo, right, Evan? I mean, it's one weekend a year. Is it one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
It's one weekend a year.
Oh, I figured it was like at least a monthly thing or like a weekly thing.
No, but can I tell you, Spooner's identity is tied to this rodeo. They they have not only embraced it, but it's the largest one in Wisconsin. People come from all over to go to this rodeo.
Once a year.
Once a year. I did not know what to expect in Spooner because it's in the middle of Wisconsin. I'm thinking they're going to have a couple of bulls and a this and a that. We needed footage of the rodeo. So Brian and I, the shooter and I, actually went to Spooner before we shot this episode weeks ago. And that's when the rodeo was in town. And so we went that weekend and it was absolutely mind-blowing.
It was just like in Cody, Wyoming, because it's a circuit. These cowboys and these cow hands and they go all over the country. And so they get on a circuit, and this is the one that's in Spooner. So the people we talked to when we got there, first of all, I love a big belt buckle. Okay.
Oh,
These
really?
people were outfitted like,
Oh, my
I'm
God.
like, where are we?
Montana. That's what you.
Montana.
Yeah,
These
you feel
people,
like
the
it.
cowboy boots and the cowboy hat, the big belt buckles, and
Yeah.
I'm like, is this how you always do it?
Yeah.
And this is their life,
That's the rodeo.
You can take the cowboy out of the Spooner rodeo.
right? But
You can't take the Spooner rodeo out of the cowboy.
Evan said it.
I've been saying that for weeks.
I gotta look that up. But that was a story in Spooner that had to be told
Oh, and an incredible facility. Wasn't it much bigger than you thought?
completely.
I too. I was like, that is one big arena.
Right.
Livestock like crazy. We went before and you can see all the stock and you can walk right up to them if you're a visitor. And that rodeo sells out. Like you have to get your tickets in you'd get your tickets in October of this year to go next summer.
One of the 3 days.
Yes.
Wow. Do they use the arena for anything else the rest of the year?
Yes, because it's part of it's the county fairgrounds.
Oh, sure. Perfect. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I have shot in every county in the state, and I had never been to Spooner.
Oh, I'm glad. What did you think?
It was just so fun to be in a Wisconsin community that I had no ties to and had never filmed there before because it's so rare. I had no idea about all of the trails, which was our segment together, which was, boy, that was a lot of trying to figure out. Remember that morning? It was like, are we leaving from the hotel or are we trailering?
But now wait, let's talk about the trails. You weren't hiking them or biking.
Oh,
them.
no. We
No.
were ATVing them.
Yeah.
John was just riding and did you drive?
I did drive. Did I?
Of course you drove.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You drove. Yeah.
John, I texted Lois and I said, would John be up for this? And she said yes.
I was up for it, but can I tell you, the trail was outside our hotel, but they took us a half hour outside of town to get to the trail. Why? I don't know. There were trees outside our hotel as well, but we had to get to the best place. I was like, why are we here doing this?
I mean, Evan, you know this. This is classic. This is classic Lois being the nicest person in the world, where she says to everybody, where is the best place? Where would you take, where would you take someone to get the best shot? And then there we go. We
and then
trail
John
with those
says,
things.
what are you thinking? And I
Yep.
say, I thought it was going to be the most beautiful shot.
And it
outside the
was.
hotel would have been the same shot. Just so you know, the trees are trees and it's a trail. Is what I was thinking.
There's certain things producers only think, right, Evan?
Yeah.
It must be our producer brain.
We wouldn't have had the same spirit.
Well, next time.
There's a lot of ATVing in Spooner. I mean, those trails are people. We saw so many trailers with ATVs coming and going, and I think that's really a recreational hotbed for it, right, in Spooner?
And you think about it, anybody can do it. Anyone can do it.
Right.
Not everybody can hop on their bike or go hiking on the trail, but anybody can hop on one of those ATVs, UTVs. And I mean, they're like little Cadillacs. I mean, it's like there's a little pouch for your snacks, and like
in a Cadillac?
we had room for everything in there.
Sort of. Yeah. it's all good. But that's just me. You know me.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do know you, which is why I also know your favorite one for this episode.
What is it?
Mayana chocolate.
Oh, Lord. Wasn't that great?
Yeah, so don't complain about the trail. You got chocolate.
I have ordered from them.
Oh, have you?
I have.
Already?
Do you know what I love?
The kitchen sink bar?
No, I love the one. It's the moon bar. It's the one that tastes like Mounds bar.
Oh.
But because what they do, it's not like you get a box of chocolates. What they do is they make another version of the candy bars that we all know, like a Mars bar, a Milky Way bar, like an Almond Joy bar, but they
Right.
call it something else and they make it their own way.
And I bet
So
it's better.
Bigger, it's better, it's richer, it's compared to an ATV. I loved the chocolate place.
Compared to anything, you love the chocolate bars.
It was so good.
And they showed us all how they made it.
Everything and the whole kind of crew around it.
It's so people heavy, isn't it? Like I
Weren't
thought.
you surprised?
Yes, because you think of a chocolate factory as, okay, a bunch of robots and that. These
Not
are
a one.
people cutting things with knives and putting it into machines that only do
Right.
one job. And
And the caramel tables, the tables that were
the number of people it takes just to package it and put it in those beautiful boxes.
beautiful.
We are known nationwide for our take on candy bars. We use ethically sourced dark chocolate from Ecuador. They are very pure, natural ingredients, and we cook them in artisan methods, and we create candy bars doing that.
I don't mind being put to work if in the end there's a treat.
Any good?
I'd like to try the big bar.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah.
And they weren't stingy with the samples.
And they weren't.
Nope.
They weren't.
No, let me tell you, America, if you want to get on this show, you give us some good samples, we'll be all over.
America.
No, it's true. That was fun. And I also liked the railroad. I am telling you, I did like the railroad. I loved it because it was.
Because it was Tim Belter. What a good interview he is.
He's so good.
Oh, and such a nice man.
And we were on this. It was a train that's used really tourist-wise. So they have like a dinner train. They have a snack train.
Yes.
They've
Pizza
got
train.
a brunch train, a pizza train. And they're trains from an era that's not now. It's a past era where when train travel was special.
Yes.
And
When lumber barons had their own cars, so they were all velvet on the inside.
Yeah.
Beautiful seats.
so it's called the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad and Railroad Memories Museum is the whole outfit that we dealt with. And Tim Belter is the guy who runs it all, really.
He runs the museum.
Okay.
The Great Northern is run by a family who actually runs it as their business. It's just their family business, the dinner trains and restoring those trains, and they're just really trained people. And Tim at the museum knows that's a huge museum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just kept going, room after room after room, and Tim knows everything that's in there and every story about it.
And he's the inventor of the cheddar wurst.
That's right, Evan. Tell John that story.
He's a what?
Inventor of the cheddar wurst.
Oh.
So he grew up in Spooner, and his family had a really long railroad history, but the trains kind of were going out of commission as he was growing up. So he got into food science. He ended up inventing the cheddar wurst that you see in stores now, I think for Hillshire Farms.
My favorite part of that entire thing, tell what happened after we finished the train. You don't remember that we got into the station?
There happened to be people really taking the train, right? This wasn't, we took one train, but there was people boarding the next train, right?
A bus
load
of people taking the dinner train.
Okay.
So
We're in Wisconsin, remember?
Right. So everyone knew
Everybody
you.
knows John.
Oh, no.
So we go in, we get off the train, he gets into the station, and it's like, and everybody was so excited. There's John McGivern, there's John McGivern. Now, what happens in these situations is people take a second before they decide whether they're going to approach him or not, right? You can see it on their face. They're kind of like, they're knocking each other like,
oh my God, I'm like here.
They're grabbing their cameras.
Yes,
We've seen
yes,
it.
You've
We've
seen it. So he gets into the depot, and I turn around. It's like I can see the door going whoop shut behind, and I'm like, where'd he go? Where did he go? And all the people in the train depot are going, where did he go? So I go outside, and I'm like, he's literally by the Main Street's van, crouched down by the back, hiding, because he's like, we're never going to get out of here if I start talking to the people. And I was just like, oh my God, somebody's going to see you. This is so embarrassing.
I
We
wish
got
I
you in
had
there, and
that
I think you
picture.
only had to talk to like 4 people, and they were really nice.
No, I didn't go back in.
No, I mean, they came out to the car to get
Right.
you. Yeah.
You wouldn't have gotten out.
No.
And so I completely understand why
I
you
so
did that.
wanted to take a picture of him crouched there, though, and send it to you guys.
She was
and
like,
go,
what
Here's
are
my
you doing?
host.
I'm like, what do you think I'm doing?
I'm hiding.
It was fine.
That was funny.
Funny as what's
You know where
happening.
we should have sent John? Honestly, it was a stand-up of mine, but I don't know if he went in there, was the Spooner Mercantile store.
Did
Because
you go into the mercantile with us?
Yeah.
Oh, you went anyway. I think we went shopping there anyways, Emmy.
remember the amazing shoe selection and all of the great, I mean, you think of like the general store is going to have like, it's kind of like the old-fashioned quick trip.
flour? Flour and bags of butter.
Exactly. This place, remember?
Yeah.
You could go rent your prom tux there. You could get like a really nice pair of Keen walking shoes. You could get your whole wardrobe for the year. I mean, this was like a store I had never seen. Loved that place.
We met them during the site survey.
Yeah, they were
remember?
super
We just
nice.
kind of walked in there, and we were like, yeah, this is cool. And it's the same family that's owned it. Aren't they? They've been there for a long time.
Yeah,
haven't they?
I think it was like one of the oldest businesses in town, something like that.
And right across the street from Round Man Brewing.
Which was really a surprise, I thought, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sue Churchill and her son,
Spencer.
Spencer, were the interviews.
Yeah. It's called Round Man because their last name is Churchill. And
Yeah.
she said that her husband is also a little round.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. So they call it Round Man Brewing, and their logo is like a profile of Churchill.
Okay.
Winston Churchill.
And it's a family run. Every member of that family is involved in that, aren't they?
Yeah. It looks, and they do such a nice job. The food
And
is
such
good.
a big business.
They're the only brewery, like microbrew up there, craft brewer. First one in Spooner, which can I tell you, for every town we've ever been to,
Right.
that's amazing that they just have one brewery there.
Right.
Because most have multiple.
How is the beer? Good?
I don't drink beer. He doesn't drink beer. Well, Brian and Gail were good. So it must have been good.
Oh, because they of course did a flight of beer.
Yeah.
For camera.
Sure.
And they brought some plates of food out as we talked about what it was, and I had a couple bites of some stuff, and then the camera was down, and the next thing I see is the crew is just sucking down that flight of beer.
Oh, yeah. They were trying it.
They were into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Brian and Gail would never let good beer go to waste, Emmy.
No, I
They've
love it.
trained under you. I
Right.
know.
I love it.
In fact, somebody tried to take a beer away, and they brought it to behind the bar, and I see Gail someplace
Going, hey.
excuse me, that drink that was on the table, is it still back? It's like,
We weren't done with that. I love it. I know better. If we are ever filming at a brewery, I never can finish one. I have to take a few sips and then offer it to Brian and Gail because they are literally salivating, waiting for the offer.
Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing.
Go.
Favorites? What was your favorite thing? Was it Mayana chocolate?
I think it was, even though I really loved the rodeo people.
Yeah.
I did. It was
You know
good.
what mine was? The Canoe Museum. Can I tell you, who ever thought that would be cool? Evan, you found that too.
Mm-hmm.
The canoe, that guy was great, but can I tell you what was most fun at the Canoe Museum was the people who were working on their canoes.
Yes, they were actually working in there.
Yeah, that was the selling point too. I mean, the Canoe Museum was really cool and really well done. There's so many museums in all these communities. This one, to see something actually being made with people's hands, that's like, that's really awesome.
And experts in how the construction and saving a canoe. It was really great.
It was. And they're very passionate about it, right? And it makes you go in there and think, I'm going to build a canoe. And then, of course, you think, what would I ever do with that canoe? But these are a lot of retirees who have the time now, and they just work so well together. And that's such an art.
You know, we didn't get to take out a canoe, but we were able to kayak. We headed from Spooner, for one of our segments to
The Namakagan. Trigo,
right? Just north.
So we could get on the river because it was your favorite segment of the entire season.
I got to tell you, that little river we went out on was as clear as could be, and no one else on it. I mean, you know, of course, it's in the middle of the week; people are working,
right?
But it was lovely, and I really thought about saying, you know, you guys just head home. Just leave me here.
Well, we had to put her in at the river. Remember, there was a bend. So we put Emmy in on her kayak and pushed her off, and we wanted to get footage of that. So we're shooting her leaving, and then we're like, okay, now we have to go ahead to the bridge so we can be over the river. Emmy, go back around. So she'd go back around in circles. You must have went around 3 or 4 times, and then it's like, come on, under the bridge.
I was happy as a lark to do that. And I have to tell you, I wanted to buy a hat or a sweatshirt before I left, and we were kind of rushed, like we always are, to get to the next place. And I was like, I don't really need it. And the next week, I'm at my favorite thrift store because I'm a huge thrifter, and with the tag still on it is a trucker hat, a Namakagan River Outfitters trucker hat, with the tags on it for like $3.99, and I was like, oh. Thank you so much.
That's a good thing.
It was so
great.
great.
You got a deal,
right?
Oh my gosh!
I know.
We have one other thing that we did, which was the fish hatchery.
Wasn't that something?
Yeah.
Now, the only disappointing part is they hatch muskie there. And when we were physically there, there was no muskie being hatched. But when Evan and I went, they were growing muskie, in like doing the eggs in the bottom, and it's an operation that blows your mind.
It's a very delicate process too. We had to squish our feet on like sanitizing floor pads and wash our hands everywhere we went.
But they have an Adopt the Muskie program there that I did when we did the site survey. And so on Father's Day, I gave my husband a muskie certificate, and he was like, "What is this?" It's a brilliant fundraiser, I think.
You gave your husband a what?
A muskie certificate. Said you adopted a muskie. You can name it too. But
and that's not a euphemism for anything, is it?
They're like microchipped or something. So if somebody catches your muskie with that tag on it, it gets registered.
This is Dennis Mauer's muskie?
No, they put it in. Then you can go to the website to see if the numbers have been caught.
If your muskie has been caught.
So you should go there like once a year and see if my muskie has been caught, you know?
My wife and I are considering the Muskie Foster to Adopt program.
Is that right? Okay, good. Good. You're going to keep them in your back koi pond, maybe.
We want to give them a better life.
I got to look into that. I'm going to look that up. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, my God.
Spooner. It was good.
It was great.
From a rodeo to muskies all over town. It was our 10th episode. And we should say hello to Barbara Ross, who is our fan shout-out from West Dallas, Wisconsin. Thank you, Barbara, for watching, I'm sure, on Milwaukee Public Television. And, yeah.
I wonder if Barbara calls it Best Dallas.
Best Dallas. I bet she must.
I bet she does.
They all do.
Yep.
Always good talking to you guys.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Talk to
Evan,
you
thanks.
soon.
You did a great job on this one.
Hey, it's been a ton of fun.
Want to wear something that's going to support your favorite show? Shop at Main Street Store. Proceeds go to help us get next season into production, so come on, go shopping at mainstreets.tv.